So welcome to Joel Green Uncut. I've got a special episode here, which is currently, I'm going to say, in support of all the people at A&E that have made it possible for me to sit here today and dose me up with the right painkillers. So I am here, and I've got, I'd say, one of our best friends of the family, to be perfectly honest. He's been around a while now. We've got Kyle Percival. How you doing, Kyle? You all right?
Hello.
How you doing?
Doing well, mate. Yeah, busy day, but other than that, mate, just cracking on with stuff I need to do.
That's it. We
You
do
know
what
me,
we
a
got
hard
to do.
worker.
Yeah, that's it, mate. That's it. But no, it's it's good to have you on. I know you're going to talk about like bits that have happened in your life up to this point, and things that you've learned along the way, because it's been a learning process for you, with sort of your condition as you've grown up. But I'll let you sort of speak about that. And you've known our eldest boy for how long now?
14, 15 years.
Yeah. And you're only
19.
19. So it's been a long time. It's kind of been one of those, isn't it? You went to a school locally together.
Yeah.
And give us a little bit of background. You got amazing parents. You got a loving family. So on that front, we can't grumble whatsoever. They've always been supportive of you.
Yeah.
So when did you first sort of find out that you had Aspergers?
So to be fair, like as a kid, I didn't know much about it. Especially in my primary school with Tommy, I was curious why I was getting more help than other people, but I didn't really it just went right over my head, because I was what, 6 years old to 10 years old, just went right over my head. And then I think it kind of hit me in secondary school. Like, it's like you kind of get a conscience of like what's going on. I was like, to be fair, I'm getting all of this help, and then I think out of 1,000 people in my secondary school, only 7 people had Aspergers, and that's when I kind of knew, like, to be fair, is it manageable? Yeah. Do I need a bit of help every now and then? But I was getting like babied at the school. Like, they were giving me a lot of help, not in a bad way. Don't get me wrong. They were proper looking after you, asking if you need help, supporting you. They gave you like a card. So if you need to go in time out, the teachers knew what the card was. Wouldn't make a fuss of it. You just show them the card, nod your head, and you go out. But other than that, mate, honestly, the schools, primary and secondary, they were very, very good at how they handled stuff, to be fair.
So from sort of the age of 6, did you feel any different to other kids as such? Did you feel that you were doing things or seeing things differently to other kids? I know 6 is quite a young age, isn't it? So you're all kind of at the start of your journey and learning kind of who you are. And I suppose when you get to that teenage stage, there's so much going on. There's hormones, as you know. You've got a sister. You've got a few. But it's kind of one of those, isn't it? Where I suppose when you start learning and growing in yourself, you then start to ask questions about yourself, don't you? A bit more. And how's it kind of, for people that don't know what Asperger's is, can you explain to people what it is?
So it's a type of autism where it can affect your speech, how you talk to people, socially, behavior. Like, you, for example, I had this a few times in secondary school. You could be saying a joke and they might not think it's a joke. They might think you're being serious. It's the way you explain stuff is what they, especially that speech and the way you think, the way you act. Again, it all comes onto that one big genre.
Yeah. So it's been a learning curve, isn't it?
It has, yeah. I can't complain much about it. It's very, very nice to like get other people's opinions on what I did. For example, if I made a joke, teacher would just say like, are you joking or are you being serious? And that kind of put me in that made me think, to be fair, that is correct. I could be a bit more like how I speak. I could tell you if you're joking, tell you if I'm not joking, be a bit more of my voice. If I'm joking, I'll say it in a jokey tone. It has been a learning curve for me pretty much from the age of 6 to now, really.
Yeah. Because obviously now the teachers aren't around. There's not particularly that kind of arm around you, or that
Of course, no.
that obviously you get that with work. You know, managers and people, they are there to support you. Well, most of them are there to support you. Did you find that even when you went into work? Did you find that people would sort of put an arm around you and understand that you had Asperger's, or did you not tell them, or were you always quite open about it?
Well, if someone asked, I'd be open about it. You know, I wouldn't. You know, for other people, it's also a learning curve as well, because it's new stuff they're just finding out, and they can learn about it.
Yeah.
At work, I kind of keep it like a low profile, because work's work. You just want to crack on with work. What I did, just want to crack on with work, finish a day, get your money, and that's it. I didn't say, "Oh, I've got Asperger's," but I'd never bring it up.
Hi, I'm Kyle.
Yeah. I was like, none of that. But if they asked, I'd be more than happy to answer. But I just, at work, just keep my head down. Relatively, well, when I was working at McDonald's, it was kind of a very stressful environment, and everyone there acted exactly the same under the pressure. So even when I was acting like that, everyone else was acting the same. So I didn't feel out of space.
You felt like you blended in.
Yeah, blended. Yeah, it's a nice way of putting it. Yeah, but now at my new job, it's only I think it's only 6 of us, and it's just so relaxed. Like, everyone's different there, and that's what kind of makes you fit in a bit, because there's only one of me who work there, and we all act completely different to each other.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a mixture of behaviours there, characters, I'd say.
Because what I'd say is, you know, obviously we've known you a long time. You know, my wife and eldest have known you for a very long time. So the fact that I think the way you've grown up, and I'm going to big you up here. I know this doesn't happen often. Take this, mate. Take this. Write this down. All right. Is the fact that I think the way you've dealt with it and the way you've progressed, and when you got your first job, how almost lit up you were, you know, how excited you were, because you've gone from this boy who wouldn't even look at you when talking, that wouldn't even, you know, make eye contact, really make conversation, would stare at the floor, and it was almost like coping mechanisms of, I'm in a social environment here, even though I know these people, I'm like this. And then for you to go for an interview and get a job at what, 16?
Yeah.
In a place, you know, like McDonald's, where it is a fast-paced place. There's so much going on. You know, it's chaos, to be perfectly honest. And that's someone standing the other side of the till. Do you know what I mean? When you see in the background and you see shouting of commands and stuff going on and all sorts happening, that you were in the middle of that, and you kept your cool, and you learnt your communication skills, and you learnt how to react to people, and how to sort of control yourself in the way that you didn't make something that was malicious, but it came out wrong. Do you know what I mean? You were misunderstood. I think you've just learned so well to put everything in the right place, and you've done it so well, Kyle. You're a real credit, you are, and to your family as well. They're exactly the same. How you sort of flourished into this young man, not to embarrass you, but it takes a big thing, you know, as you know. Our Charlie's got autism, and you know, it's how you cope with it. And even at the age of 9 is incredible, as you know, how he copes with things and how he deals with things. And I think you're just a real credit. And now you've gone into another job off your own back, just shows you're going up levels. You know, just to go to the comments, Jam from Red Corner Boxing. You've obviously seen Jam in the comments before. He's put big up Joel and Kyle. Rachel Green has put, "We love you, Kyle."
Thank you, Rachel. Love you all too. Thank you very much.
And Tommy has jumped in. It makes me happy seeing my best friend talk about this. I'm proud of you always, Kyle.
Thank you, mate.
There you go. He can be nice. He can be nice. You can put the embarrassing photos away that you threatened him with.
Hey, who said that?
But yeah, so anyone who's obviously growing up with Asperger's or autism or a particular condition, what advice would you give to someone? I know you're still young and you're going through it yourself, but what advice would you give someone if they're sort of struggling a little?
I'd say cope with it in your own ways, because if you've got people around you telling you to cope with different things, like if you like, for example, coping for going on a walk, people would say no, coping, sit down, do this, do that. You've got all of these things coming to you that could stress you out and mix it all up, make it worse. Do what you think's comfortable. Don't do what anyone else. Take suggestions, yeah, but don't be forced to do anything else. Do what you think's best for you.
Yeah, sort of be comfortable and surround yourself with good people as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. I've literally Tommy, I've known him for 14, 15 years. He's probably the only person, or I've got a few very people I'd like to be close with. Tommy's probably the only one that's put up with me for God knows, like, apart from me family and all that, but he's probably the only friend that's put up with me for pretty much nearly my whole life, and he's known how to cope with me, deal with me, know when I'm like upset or sad or mad or whatever. So he's a good man when it comes to all of that stuff. You know what I mean? He knows. He's kind of also, it's been a learning curve, but it's also he's had a bit of a learning curve with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we've had ups and downs, but yeah,
it's important. Yeah, no, that's life, and people have your ups and downs. And I think if you didn't have ups and downs, then you're not human. You know,
nothing's perfect. No one's perfect. No relationship's perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thanks, Kyle. That was really kind.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
Don't look me in the eye when you say that. Yeah, no one's perfect, Joel. No, but I understand what you mean. And, you know, you will always have that one person that you have as a go-to person that you think, actually, I might say the wrong thing and it might cause a bust up, or it might do this or it might do that. But do you know what? I know he's got my back 100%.
Yeah.
And there's not many people like it in life.
There's not, no.
And you figure that out as you get older.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've kind of landed a good friendship there, haven't you?
I have. I'm very lucky, I'd say, because there's not many people out there that kind of put up with you for that many years, friends wise. If you think about it, after school, you kind of drift away from each other. But I didn't go to the same secondary school as Tommy, so I think from primary school, it was only primary school, and we've still kept in contact, kept talking for all of those years after primary. Which I think maybe only 1-2 people I only talk to after primary, and not many people. Tommy's probably the only one I talk to a lot.
Yeah, no, definitely. And as you say, you know, you grow with people. You know, you always think when you're with your mates at school, oh, this is going to be the time forever. I'm going to be with this person forever. You know, you tell a girl in year 6, I'll end up marrying you. You go through all these different stages, though, don't you? Of saying, oh, I do this, do that. And when it comes to it, you can count them on your hand.
Yeah.
Who those people really are. If it even fills up a hand. Do you know what I mean? If you get those people. And it's, as I say, been a learning curve for him. It's been a learning curve for you. Yeah. But you've got that understanding, and it's helped you mould, hasn't it? Who you want to be and how you need to approach others.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Dad's watching me on TV.
What's that?
Dad's just sent me a picture on WhatsApp. Got a notification. Hi, Kyle, and it's a picture of a TV, I think, or a screenshot. So,
well, while we know he's watching, we got to give a big shout out to your parents, haven't we? Because
absolutely, yeah.
You know, Lee and Debbie are brilliant. I heard him downstairs. But it's a big shout out to both of them, because, and your sister as well, Tegan, to be fair. They've all helped you, haven't they, along your journey. and you couldn't ask for better parents.
No. To be fair,
That was a nice subtle answer.
yeah.
No.
Well, the thing is, me dad does fishing. Obviously, he's not very good at it. I'm waiting for the shout. Hang on. Yeah, he's not very good at it, but he's got me into fishing. So if I probably didn't get into fishing, I'd probably just stay in my room, because with most people,
You've done it now.
yeah, like he got me into fishing, so it's kind of that keeps me out the house quite a bit. If like loads of people with like Aspergers, they kind of it's like they've got their own comfort space, like their room. Like my girlfriend's sister, she's got autism. She only stays in her room. Like she hasn't got any hobbies really. Not trying to insult her, but that's all she does in her room or at college.
Yeah, that's her
But
comfort.
yeah, but fishing, to be fair, I do fishing or on my own or with dad. I'm going in October with him in France, but he's going to catch none. I hope he hears that. And yeah,
You're not
fishing, to
helping
be
yourself.
fair, yeah, fishing's kind of like it's like another kind of thing to do because I quite enjoy it as well. And
Yeah.
my new job's based around the fishing stuff as well, so I can't complain really. I've got it all pretty much planned out.
Yeah, yeah. So if obviously, you know, things can change, things can go wrong, but the good thing
Yeah,
is you've got a real good support, you've got a good base around you,
yeah,
you know, and as you say, you've now learned how to sort of reset and go again
yeah,
because you know
yeah.
what you can and can't do and what the right things are to do. So no,
Mm.
hats off to you, Kyle.
Yeah,
And it's great that you've got a hobby because that is one of the best things, to be fair, isn't it? Is to have
yeah,
that
yeah,
to
yeah,
go and do something and to almost shut off from the world, isn't it? And
yeah.
focus on something else.
Yeah,
Um,
I quite like it. It keeps me at the house because, well, it's either that. I've got another hobby, obviously, which is playing the Xbox, but I don't really be stuck in my room all day playing the Xbox. You know what I mean? It gets boring after a while. But fishing's kind of like a trial and error thing. You don't get any. You try again next time. You know what to do. It's all like planning and all of that. Something my dad wouldn't know, but who said that?
so so back in the day, if you hadn't caught any fish on a particular week,
Right.
would that have really pissed you off? Like back in the day, if you caught
It would.
nothing,
It
where
wouldn't have made me
now
gutted.
if you don't catch anything and then you think, right, okay, well actually I could use this next time. I can do this next time. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? You sort of
Yeah.
work
Yeah.
it a bit differently now.
It would have made me a bit gutted because, well, when I was younger, I used to go with my dad. I used to expect to catch. I used to think you got to be catching all the time, and there has been times I've gone with him, and surprise, surprise, he isn't caught. Um, so that's kind of like it's got me used to it because not. No, I'm joking. Um, no, it is good to not catch because it's a learning curve as well. I went in January when it was freezing cold and I didn't catch, and I was there for about 7 8 hours, and I was just thinking, you know what, next time I'm not going to go when it's too cold like this because
Yeah.
loads
So
of
you
people
learn.
said you don't want to go when it's this temperature. You want to go when it's kind of a bit warmer. Try this. Like I'm surrounded by really good colleagues at work as well. They'll like for example, if I want to go fishing, they'll tell me what to take to this lake because majority of the time they've all been to this one lake. If I say I'm going to go to this one, I've been there, do this. I've been there, do that. But other than that, though, it's kind of like I think I've only blanked like you don't catch twice. Once my first time ever going with my dad, and then second time was in January. And other
I'm
than
glad.
that,
I'm glad you explained what blanked was because that could have backfired on you as well, couldn't it?
right,
Because there's a lot of people that don't know the fishing terms.
no, yeah, yeah, um, but it is quite fun because it's not a very cheap hobby. It can be expensive, to be fair. I got quite lucky. I did a raffle on my on the phone, and I won 600 quid worth of alarms for 20 quid.
Job done.
So yeah, it's just I've got basically everything I need near enough, but it's just preparation really. Like
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
just one day. I'm not very good at planning things, to be fair. one day, or let's say today, for example, I've been saying to my dad, I want to go fishing tomorrow. But you don't just say you want to go tomorrow. You need to plan it, get your bait
Yeah, yeah.
ready, get everything ready. But
So is
that's
that
what slows me
is that
down.
one thing? Is that one thing you still struggle with? Would you say
Yeah, I don't plan ahead.
it's the
I
planning
don't plan
element?
ahead. Yeah,
So
I don't plan ahead really.
So, as a suggestion, I suppose your mum and dad have probably told you this 100 times. Have you got a diary or something like that that you can write down and say, actually, yeah, I can go towards that day, and I know that I can pay for this, and I can
Yeah, it's
get
what my
there
mum's
this
told me.
way?
Yeah,
But
my
you
mum's told
haven't,
me to
have
do
you?
that. No, I don't do that.
So we still got a little bit of things to learn along the way,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
but it all helps. It all
It does.
helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's like a well, it's I don't know how to describe it. Though. If I don't catch, I will be gutted, but I'll go. I'll keep going to the same place. And well, for example, do you know Waldegraves, Mersey?
Yeah, yeah,
There's a fishing lake. I caught there the first time I went 11 fish, decent sized fish. The next time I went, I only caught 4. And then I said, what can I do? But I switched baits. Went next time, caught 2. Then I went the next time and I caught 5. Like it, it's it's something that kind of keeps you busy for a long, long time.
yeah, yeah.
Especially when
Well,
you're
that's
out on the
good.
bank. Yeah, it is nice. You're out on the bank in the like in nature, just sitting to yourself. It's all quiet, no shouting, no people like just being reckless. You know what I mean? It's just you, your fishing gear. It's all just calm. It's like it's my kind of environment. I don't like a very busy, rushed environment.
Yeah.
So just on the bank is kind of the environment I want to be at. Just calm, like my new job, calm, peaceful.
Yeah, like you said, like the advice you were giving, find what works for you.
Yeah,
Find your place where you're comfortable, but at the same time you've got a chance to grow at your own rate as opposed to feeling pushed or doing all sorts. So yeah,
yeah,
no, hats off to you, Kyle.
yeah.
No, it's gonna, as I say, it's always a journey
It
because
is.
stuff happens over time, and I know things have happened with mum and that sort of thing, which have been a big impact on you, but also helped you grow as a person.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, we honestly we really appreciate you in this house and the
Cheers,
stuff
mate.
that the stuff you've been through and how you've grown and how you developed into the person you are today.
Yeah.
And you're a handsome chap as well. It's really annoying, isn't it?
I try.
Oh, shucks,
Nothing like my dad. Nothing like my dad.
Well, he's a handsome chap as well. We have to put that out there.
Right.
But because I
Right.
won't hear the end of it.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's been a pleasure having you on, Kyle,
Cheers,
and
mate. Thanks for having me.
giving us a little insight into the journey you've been on, things you've done in your life, and is he there? Is he?
He heard you call him a handsome chap, and he just went, "Yeah, boy."
Yeah, yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, I appreciate your time, mate, and
That's all right.
thank you for coming on. And as I say, obviously, great times ahead for you. There's going to be a lot going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep up the good work, mate, and doing
Cheers,
what
mate.
you're doing because yeah, you're doing some great stuff, and we're really proud of you at this end.
Cheers,
So
mate.
thank you very much, Kyle,
Thank
and
you for
we'll
having me, mate.
hey, you're always welcome, and we'll have a catch up soon.
That's fine, mate. See you soon.
Take care, Kyle. Love to the
Cheers, you
family.
too, mate. Cheers. Bye-bye.
See you, mate. Bye.
Bye.